I was reading an article where it was talking about how, nationally, the national NBA media or sports media, whatever you want to call them, we're forgetting about Jalen Duren. Now, there was a lot of talk about Wiseman, and, when they got Wiseman, it was Wiseman. I have people that stay out there in Oakland that's Warriors fans, and talking about Wiseman's going to be good for you guys, and I'm just like, we got Jalen Duren. I mean, I didn't think we needed Wiseman. I think it was overkill. But then again, when you got a talent, number 2 overall pick, Troy Weaver must have liked him when he came out. You go, do your thing and, shoot your shot and see what you can do with it. But right now, I think, I don't think nationally a lot of eyes are on the Pistons. I think this year they might got one or two national televised game once again against Houston. The other one I think is on NBA TV. I don't count that. Just my opinion there on it. But I feel that nationally, I think this year maybe Jalen Duren's coming out party. Now we seen in the summer him adding a little 10 to 15 footer. Him dominating at the summer league and doing what he need to do and look vastly improved. Yeah, a lot of us thinking like, dude can probably be the best player on this team. And I think that's his potential to be one of the best players on the team. He grew a few inches. I think he came in the league at 6'9", 6'10". I heard he well above 7 foot. A la via Isaiah Stewart said he's still growing. I think he had like a 7'8" wingspan, 7'10" wingspan or something like that. It was one of them. I think Marcus Williams had the opposite. Whatever the opposite was, if he was 7'10" and Duren and then Mark Williams like 7'7", or he was 7'7", then Mark Williams 7'10", something ridiculous like that. So he's growing. He's athletic. But just a raw athletic potential, in which he moved vertically, which he moved laterally, and offensively, like he's starting to kind of put it together. Now, I don't like him and Isaiah Stewart out there practicing threes. He need to be banned from taking 3-point shots. He need to be on the block, working on the post-up moves, working on the 10 to 15-foot jump shot. That's it. That's all he need to do. He don't need to go out there to the 3-point line to be effective. Only time I need him at the 3-point line is when we running a fast break and he breaking into the lane. He need to be mastering the post game, and that's what I hate about the NBA right now, where a lot of these big fellas, they want to go chuck threes up, but then, but they don't know how to do a basic drop step, hook over the right shoulder. They don't know how to do the sheet, turning gun, baseline, or, they don't know how to do basic post moves. You know what I'm saying? So, it's ridiculous. But if he focus on, in the pattern his game after like a Patrick Ewing or Keem Olajuwon is extreme because of his naturally gifted footwork. He played soccer as a kid, but I think if anybody can mimic it is Jalen Duren, to be honest. But kind of like how Alonzo and Patrick played. They can play on the block in 10 to 15. They can give you the jab step, hit the 10-footer in your face. They can go to the elbow, hit the 15-foot. If you play too tight on the elbow, you bigger, guess what? They're going to blow past you, go to get a bucket. That's how you need to play. He, his jumper from 10 to 15 this summer looked natural enough that he can do it, and he get a lot of lift on that jumper. So, once again, it's a team that need to play with a lot of pace, but you know what? That's a different conversation for a different day. But nationally, I think people really sleeping on him. Obviously, it's not a bunch of Piston games to watch, not a bunch of interest in Piston games to watch unless you betting or playing fantasy. So I understand what people really kind of like forgetting that we took him 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th overall or something like that, and he was part of that Knicks trade to get him. But I think a lot of people gonna be surprised on how good he is, and what he gonna bring to the table. And I think nationally, and I just think Wiseman was a name because of Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball, and they should have took LaMelo. What if they got Anthony Edwards, and how he kind of sandwiched between both of them and seen as a bust, and how Curtin developed him and then being synonymous with the Warriors and one of the glory franchises of this era, and how he didn't make it, and what if he made it. So I think his name is bigger than Duren's name, and I think a lot of people didn't know about Duren and what he did to Shaq Holmgren, almost broke him like a twig in the national championship tournament. And maybe had they beat Gonzaga, they had more depth in Memphis, and that's kind of something that Deion Sanders is dealing with, and people don't understand. Even with all the NIL and the transfer portal stuff he got going on, it's hard to build depth in one season in any sport, amateur or college. Amateur or pro. So Penny kind of, got to, build more depth in Memphis. And once he do that, then, I think they'd be okay. But had they had more depth, they would have beat Gonzaga that year and should have beat them that year. And maybe, Jalen Duren don't hang around as late as he do, and maybe we don't end up with Jalen Duren because he would have been more spotlight on him. But yeah, he's a man child. I mean, physically, he reminds you of Alonzo Mourning, Dwight Howard built type of guy, Kevin Willis built type of guy. Seen him work real hard. You could see evidence in the summer league. You see some of the things he posts on social media. Seemed like all the Pistons work pretty hard, and they a bunch of young guys that work hard. But I think nationally, I think he gonna get some recognition. I think everybody got their eyes on Cade and see what Cade can do, and he got a lot of pomp and circumstance of what he did at the with the select team versus the U.S. Team that went over to the FIBA, and they said he was the best player on the court. I mean, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges. I mean, you name him, he was the best player on the court, and it don't seem like too far behind him that Jalen Duren was like damn near, from what you heard, the next best player on the court. You know what I'm saying? So, I think people gonna be surprised how good Jalen Duren is, and I think Monty Williams is going to get him the keys to the car. That's one thing I like to hear about Monty. He was talking about Jalen Duren and how impressed he was with Jalen Duren. So you probably gonna see a lot of Jalen Duren. You probably gonna see a lot of Jalen Duren. This season, and I think he gonna take the ball and do what he got to do. And I think at some point, he may be a feature attraction in this offense, but I think nationally people gonna find out that Jalen Duren is how good he really is, and and I think people just know Wiseman as a name. Wiseman got traded to Detroit, and we all looking like we got Duren. We don't need Wiseman. That was everybody's thing, and then when they said they're gonna start Wiseman over Duren, it broke out there. I think a lot of people was upset, and that's what Troy Weaver continues to do. He continues to oversaturate assets with the same type of assets in the same position. You can't grow if you got your flowers too close together. They ain't gonna be able to grow. If you got your chicken too close together, in the oven, it ain't gonna cook as fast and as good as it should cook. Just to use a couple analogies. So, but at the end of the day, I look forward to him. I think 2023, 2024, it might be, everybody expecting it to be Cade Cunningham's coming out party, but don't be surprised if it's Jalen Duren's coming out party. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, aka X, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Appreciate everybody supporting the channel. Keep sharing it. Keep subscribing to the channel. I keep pumping out stuff. When Michigan have an interesting game, I will do a post-game reaction, but their schedule was so terrible, and I start covering some Michigan State games too. So they just trash right now. But hey, peace.